Alright, welcome once again to this month's show on What is Your Story with Dr. Robert. Also remember, once again, we are back. This is a program that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. only at Romy TV Africa at Dr. Robert Osoro.
Yes. So my brother, so you say that you had started this.
Ulipiga ikaenda kwa wrong number.
Yeah.
Well, what a beautiful morning. Good morning, dear viewer. Welcome to today's news briefing. This Wednesday, 26th. And alongside me, I'm not alone, but I also have my co-host here.
Regina Mwangi, welcome to the show.
And so today we are also joined by our guest, Daktari himself. Let's just welcome him by introducing himself.
Thank you so much. I'm Ambassador Dr. Nyaumbu.
So our news making headlines today, one of them is about Penina Malonza being rejected, Ruto on Unga prices, Ashrad murder probe, and also Raila speaks on drought. Now let's go on into our first story. Ruto on Unga prices. President William Ruto has asked the citizens to stay calm in order to lower the prices of Unga. The president to reap the fertilizer subsidy. He also added that 1.5 million bags of subsidized fertilizers were dispatched. And we can see that in this story we see that the president, when he was taking office, he said that the first thing he's going to do is to lower the prices of unga because people have been suffering, have been saying that the prices of unga have been going so high. And we see that he has also, yesterday as he was speaking, he said that we should wait a little longer, for at least 1 year, for everything to settle. So, Daktari, yes, what do you think about this situation of unga?
Yesterday, to start with, I was very much disappointed and frustrated on the president's remarks, and his word on the same, because when I look at the promises that he gave Kenyans, he never did whatever that he promised. We can see 100 days are almost going down, and now he's coming out to tell us that he still needs more days, that is 365 days.
Yeah.
So I am very much disappointed by the president. And when I look at this issue on the unga prices, this is something that is affecting Kenyans directly. Every household uses maize flour. So if they use maize flour, and then these are the people who voted for the government, these are the people who were told about the hustler nation, and they are now dying in anger.
But it seems like there's still a lot to be done, so that he has a lot of time to take over.
But the government, when he was saying the first 100 days, he could have planned before getting to the government, getting to the administration. So he failed on the same. What he has done is disappointing fellow hustlers. Yes.
Now let me stop you there. Yes, Miss Regina.
I would also second him. Like, he has really failed Kenyans at a big point, because these are people who voted for him. These are people he by his own will, he promised the people that things are going to be okay. But since he came into power, since he started his journey of presidency, we have not seen. All we are seeing is chaos. All we are seeing is hunger. All we are seeing is complaints. There's nothing really going on, right? So I think he should just come at a point where he needs to assure the people and make sure that he keeps the promises that he made.
But I think there are more problems in Kenya compared to the unga prices, and maybe we should just allow to give him time to deal with the other situation.
And how much is time? How much is time? Are we going to every day keep saying that we need to give him time?
And again, can we say that we have a lot of problems in Kenya, whereas we are overlooking what is happening or what is really troubling Kenyans.
Yeah.
Because I said every household uses this unga or maize flour. Besides that, every other commodity that is household commodity that every person consumes is at high cost.
Yeah.
It's the other time I went to the supermarket with 10,000, and even the troll cannot even be full with 10,000. So that means we are at a very serious crisis as a country, and the president should look into issues affecting Kenyans directly, and more importantly at the household levels.
Yeah, dear viewer, talk to us, tuambie kabisa venye unahisi kuhusu situation here ya Ruto. Hapo just comment and tell us. We shall read your comments and see what is your take on this situation whereby the president says that we should add one more year to wait for the unga prices to be lowered. Now, in another story is about the journalist who was shot dead on Sunday 10 p.m. Mr. Ashrad. Now there are 4 GSU officers who have been arrested and into the case of the death. And up to now, we don't know exactly what happened and what exactly led to the killing to the shooting of the journalist. What do you think about this situation of the journalist being killed here in Kenya, especially because we have been having cases that foreigners come? For example, at the moment you have other 2 Indians who came in Kenya. They were attacked and even were being killed, and their bodies were found dumped somewhere else.
Okay, the issue is I don't have much information about the case, but what I can say is that these guys, the GSU people who are in pursuit for the journalist, could not get the right information on the vehicle that the journalist was using. And the information that is popping on the screens and on the headlines about the same case is that once the GSU officers received the information, they got the wrong information. So I'm even asking myself why a body like that can do something, such a misconduct, and blame it on misinformation. Why can someone give an information on the same thing that was supposed to be done, or on the same vehicle that was stolen, and then the pursuit goes to another vehicle that someone else owns? So here now, the GSU officers being grilled cannot bring a solution to us. The thing is, let us know who ordered the hit and how and why he did that. Yeah.
So, Ms. Regina, do you think this situation of the GSU officers in Kenya, that it's becoming somehow petty because they just do killings somehow without finding out the main issues?
I think them being apprehended and being questioned it's going to make an impact. But again, we have seen now, since the murder happened, we have seen the mystery of the death of Ashad is continuing to deepen, because each and every day we are receiving complicated stories. One they are saying this, one they are saying that. Now we are not even in a position to know what is what. So I think the questioning and even other people apart from the GSU who are there should also be questioned, so that at least we can get clear information on what really happened. Because every day we are getting different stories, so we don't know which story is true.
Do you think we should blame the government in not training these GSU officers well in their line of duty?
I think they have a very good understanding on their duties and what they're supposed to do.
So meaning they're doing silly job.
Whatever that happened on the same case is something that we as a country must come out and condemn.
Yeah.
And again, onto strongest terms, ensure that in such cases will never happen again. But now we're seeing the government now as the machinery that is being used to kill civilians or to kill its people. This is Kenya. We should be having freedom. People should be having freedom. They should coexist and cohabit very well.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the issue where the unit, a specific unit, is blamed. We cannot blame the government, we cannot blame the GSU. We should be knowing the exact reason why this happened. And again, looking forward, the GSU are the people who receive the only people that receive a training that is very intense. So when they have that intense training, they should ensure that they act professionally. And again, a pursuit is not done like you just pursuing someone and you just following that person. You can have other methods that, like, you can't just see my vehicle down there and you just pursue me for no reason. You just come, tell me there is an issue here, we need to see you, or we need to you need to accompany us to these offices. Then I'll take myself there, I'll just go comfortably knowing that this is not what I did, or if I did that, I'll defend myself why I did it.
Yeah.
So that was very, very unprofessional, and we can never advocate for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard it from the doctor and Miss Regina there. Now let's hear from you. What do you take on this situation whereby the GSU officers are becoming petty on their duty of work? And on our next story is about the Penina Malonza Part 2 to rejection, whereby the nominated CS of tourism, Penina Malonza, has been rejected by the MPs at the parliament. It said that she's not ready to do the tourism job, whereby yesterday when she was being vetted, she was being asked questions that she could not even answer. It seems like she's not knowledgeable of what she's going to do, and this work has been taken care of by the former CS Najib Balala.
Yeah.
Since 2007, during the late Moi Kibaki's era, to the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, do you think that the member of parliament are serious when they are saying that they were doing a serious vetting in this time of nomination?
Parliamentarians are serious jokers. That is what I can say. And again, there is no way you can just wake up and tell someone who has a very good CV that he or she is not fit for the job. We voted in serious jokers, some people without even papers to the parliament.
Yeah.
And that is now affecting the government and the operations of the administration, that is the Kenyan administration. Back to the case of Penina Malonza, I think I watched the same interview. When I was just watching, I could see on the show that happened, whereby she could articulate some other issues, and this the Speaker of the National Assembly could just tell or correct, and now she could come out clear and tell them that, okay, now it is like this. I'm sorry if I said this. Maybe because of, I can say, fear, I don't know. But again, she articulated well the issues affecting the tourism docket. And again, Penina has experience in the government.
Yeah.
She's not just like
Because
another person.
She's a former deputy governor.
Yes.
Of Kitui.
When you look at it, and again, you see, I was looking at people like Linturi and the likes of Juma. These are people who are involved in craft cases. And when you look at Penina, she has never been arrested. She has never gone to court to defend anything that she's been in any craft case. She has a very clean record. I think what the people or the parliamentarians are trying to do is just doing the machinery work that maybe they were given we never elected people who can vet the seers and administrators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Regina. Do you think the members of parliament, are really doing a good job by not agreeing with Penina Malonzo's line of duty?
I think they are so unfair because most of them, even if you look at the positions they have right now, some of them they never even qualified academically.
Yeah.
So I think this is just a personal issue they have with Penina Malonza, because if I look at my point of view, she's so qualified compared to Akina Mithika Linturi, who have even so serious crimes they have committed and which are very dangerous even to the community. There are people who are not even supposed to be in the communities because they are not safe. People are not safe with them. So I think they're just unfair to Penina Malonza because she qualifies. The interview she did, she answered each and every question she was being asked. Academically, she's okay. She's clean in terms of cases and in terms of character and dignity. So I am wondering why they're rejecting her, which is so unfair, but I think they should just consider.
So I think that see, if they have to remove her from the CS duty, they also have to consider Lithika Linturi and Aisha Jumu as well, because you can't tell me that they have to take out Penina and leave Aisha Jumu and Linturi, right?
Oh, well, I think the rejection of Linturi and Aisha Jumwa should not surprise Kenyans. Let it come. And for Penina Malonza, let the name be reinstated in the parliament. If they reinstate this name, let them work upon the issues that she gave or elucidated on the same, and again, let them give her a chance. We don't want criminals in the government or in the administration. Let the criminals go and let the people who have clean record work for the people.
Okay. But what I can say is that, if I may ask, can we say that the president made the wrong decision by choosing Lithika Linturi and Aisha Juma, because he knew that they have cases in court, but he ended up selecting them, and he also selected Penina, but Penina has no cases at all, and now the members of parliament are turning on Penina, not even turning on against Aisha Juma and Linturi.
And I can tell you, I have solid facts here about the people who are appointed as CS, and these people have been involved in graft cases. We start from Linturi. This guy attempted rape, and we know that. Kenyans have the information. When we come to Aisha Jumwa, she has a standing trial of embezzling 20 million shillings. That is the people's money. These are the funds that were to be used by the people. And again, she has another trial. That's a murder case. So when we come to someone like Simon Chelui, this is someone who has a lot of issues about graft cases. These are facts that we have. When we come to someone like Onesimus Kipchumba Murkomen, this is someone who rooted NYS. He has a lot of issues with NYS funds. The time that you saw Waiguru. So when we get back to Salim Mvuya, this is someone again having the mining issues. So when he was the CS of mining, then he did a lot that we can't account for many millions that were lost by the same people, and these are the monies that we could be now curbing the hunger issue. So the president never did wrong appointing them, but again, let parliament come with the facts and treat these people as criminals. If you are a criminal, you are a criminal. If you are an administrator, let your position be reinstated.
No, let me stop you there. We can see that we are going to talk more about this Penina Malonza's issues and also the other CSS stories where they are making headlines whereby are we going to blame the president for selecting people who have cases in courts? And just stay tuned. In our next session, we are going to talk about the CSS at large, and let's focus on our next story whereby the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga speaks on drought, and he says that the government is not taking the right way in controlling the drought situation, whereby he says that he calls for rapid multifaceted drought response. Do you think he's doing the right thing, being an opposition leader? He sees that things are not going the right way.
Raila has always been in opposition, and whatever I think he's doing is right. Mzee knows well the issues affecting Kenyans.
Yeah.
So whatever he's saying, he has facts. And it's not only drought that is affecting Kenyans. We have hunger cases. We have a lot of issues that are having a serious concern. We as Kenyans, we should look at. So him calling the government to check on the drought and the hunger cases or issues is very right, and he should just do his work as an opposition leader.
Ms. Regina, do you think the Raila Amolo Odinga is saying the correct thing by blaming the government not taking the right direction in controlling drought?
He's doing the right thing because I think he always keeps the government in check. So whatever he says is based on facts. We have seen the government failing, especially in food security. So I think he's right in what he's saying.
He's right. Well, talk to us, dear viewer. Talk to us here at Romy TV on all our social media pages in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even in YouTube. And make sure you stay tuned. On our next session, we are going to talk more about the newspaper. We are going to have one more guest on our stage here, on our set. And I'll be told if he's on the way. We shall know if he's already there. And after this short break, we are going to be back. Stay tuned.
Alright, welcome once again to this month's show on What is Your Story with Dr. Robert. Also remember, once again, we are back. This is a program that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. only at Romy TV Africa at Dr. Robert Osoro.
So my brother, so you say that you had started this.
Ulipiga ikaenda kwa wrong number.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Now we are turning our attention to the newspapers, whereby news making headlines. It's about the Penina Malonza situation being rejected. Now, we had reached at a point whereby we were saying that should we blame the president for selecting those people who have cases in court? For example, Aisha Jumwa, Kipchumba Murkomen, Litinka Minturi, and so many others. So is the president doing the right thing, or is he trying to take away the cases from these people so that they can just live their normal lives as others continue being suffering?
The first thing I'll say, as I always say it here, is that the president made a very serious mistake this time round because he appointed politicians to administrative positions. We should have a difference who is a politician and who is an admin. An admin is someone who has those leadership qualities. But a politician, any hooligan can be a politician. Yeah. Any hooligan can be in the parliament. The same case that you seen these hooligans doing and rejecting names or doing whatever they're doing, or drafting some other laws and legislating some things that you even think as the common mwananchi, this is not right. So the president should get back to the drawing board. And I'm praying that the committee that is overseeing these appointments can reject as many people as possible.
Yeah.
For example, if someone has a graft case, reject. If someone has integrity issues, reject. If someone, embezzlement of funds and all that, reject.
Yeah.
Let the president go back to drawing board. And again, I don't think if politicians will lead this country to a certain level that we need to.
Yeah.
In the next few years, we will be having even people, class 8 dropouts, going to the parliament. We will be having people going to the parliament and doing whatever they feel is right for them. That is not in order. A country must be run by the people who have the quality education, the dignity and the integrity, and all the qualities among others.
No.
Yeah.
Miss Regina, let me phrase it like this. We can say it's corruption because you can see that these people have cases. There are some people out there suffering because their families are being affected by the issues. For example, if we turn our attention to the member of parliament of Kimilili, Didimas Baraza, whereby he had killed someone and he ran away. He came back, the case is no more, and the president just kept silent about it. Do you think that it's a matter of corruption when he was selecting these people to serve under him?
I think it was a matter of corruption. I wouldn't necessarily call it corruption, but I would call it favorism.
Favorism.
Because he chose these people based on allies, on their allies, based on who was close to me.
Yeah.
Instead of checking if these people are really qualified to serve the people. Because we see the likes of Akina Aisha Jumwa and Mithuri Lintiki. There are people who definitely they don't even really deserve these seats. They don't. We have seen the facts, we have seen the cases they committed, and I think they should embrace the culture of integrity, like based on the example of the former UK Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who resigned over sexual abuse scandal, you remember? I think they should just embrace and know, honestly, with all these cases, I don't really deserve to serve the people. It shouldn't be even at its parliament who will reject them. They should themselves choose to reject themselves because they are not qualified. We saw when the president made this nominee, when he was announcing them, he saw immediately somebody like Nurdin Haji, who had accused Aisha Jumwa, dropped the case immediately. I think it's still corruption, not because this Nurdin Haji saw that she's on this seat, she's gonna be on this seat, so I have to drop this case maybe to receive some kind of favors, maybe. So I think that's why he dropped. Because if Aisha Jumwa had not been nominated, I think the case would still continue. It wouldn't have been dropped. So I think this is just a matter of corruption. And if we continue with this corruption thing, even based on our top leaders in the government, then Kenya will never grow.
Well, the discussions are getting so hot right now. Do you have anything to add on?
I'm asking myself a question. When will, as a country, be having people who do the right thing? When will we as a country have admins who know what they need to do or what they're supposed to do? When will we have people in this country who will step down when they know when they have corruption cases and stop going for the elective positions? When will, as a country, have people who value integrity, who value dignity, who value humanity lead this nation? I'm just asking myself a lot of questions about this country of ours and how we will move forward.
Well, you heard it there, people. You heard it from my pundits, and now let's see what is going to happen to the parliament. Are they going to reject her again? And we see the way forward. Will the president talk about it, or is just going to let it just fly away? And let's turn our attention to the internationals, whereby the UK Prime Minister, the new UK Prime Minister, Mr. Sunak. He's a proud man. He's a happy man being elected as the next UK Prime Minister.
Yeah.
It said that he's an origin from, the father is from Kenya
yeah,
and the mother is from Tanzania. But he has a descent of British and Asian. So he was also a former finance officer in the UK during Boris Johnson's era.
Yeah.
Now, do you think he's going to do a good job? Because there in UK at the moment their economy is very poor. And he has being an economist.
Yeah.
Is he going to straighten the things there so well?
I'll talk about him based on what I've seen him doing in the government or in the positions he has held before.
Yeah.
And Sunaj is a great leader. At a younger or tender age, he has exhibited leadership qualities.
Yeah.
And for him to rejuvenate the economy or to make the economy get back to its normal, I think he's very sure that he's going to work and he's going to do what it takes to make sure that UK is a great nation. So he is a leader, he's been seen leading, and I know for sure that he will deliver. Yeah.
Miss Regina?
I think he will deliver. Him being entrusted after the resignation of his trust, I think he's a man who is capable of that position. And we have seen him serve even before in the government. So I think he's familiar with all the techniques and the roots of the government. So he's going to do a good job.
Should I say that it's a happy time for Kenyans because there can be a good relation between the UK and the Kenyans at large, because you see the father was from Kenya, so maybe he would like to do some business between Kenya and UK.
You never know on the tech about government duties and dealings, but again, for him, he will do something, I know.
Yeah.
And I'll say one thing about his election, and he is now the leader of the UK. In the whole world, this is now when we seeing the generational change. When we seeing the young people rising to greater political ranks and political spaces. And therefore, I'm urging all young people in the whole world to stand up and fight for their space, to keep fighting for their space, to keep fighting for what they think is right. Because if we may not be having this generational change, we will be having all refugees leading us presidents, leading us prime ministers, leading us in whatever positions. And that means we will be having all the narratives in the new era. We are in a 21st century. I'm not saying wazee ni wabaya, but let them be in the consultative and advisory forums. Let the youth and the young generation lead the countries, lead the nations, lead this world. Yeah.
Well, you had it there. Now let's turn our attention back to the country whereby we talked about it, but we did not talk about it in details. About the former Prime Minister blaming Ruto for not for failing to control the starvation in Kenya, and whereby the former Prime Minister says that the country has taken a slower pace in responding about the cases concerning this drought situation, for example in Isiolo, Garissa. Do you think Ruto still needs time to take care about this situation, because he's still new to the job? Even though he said it will only take 100 days to take care of everything at the moment, but Kenya has fallen down.
Before we blame the president or we say that he needs more time, we should first of all ask ourselves, the leaders who were elected before in the said areas where drought has been a menace, what have they been doing? And if they've been doing whatever they've been doing, how have they been doing it? Because I believe that those places you can find water, and the only thing that needs to be done is connectivity to those areas and ensure that these leaders work on the priority issues. When I say priority issues, for example, if I were elected as a member of parliament in one of the said areas, the first priority could not be even schools. The first priority could be water. The first priority could be food. What do we do and how do we put food on the table? The problem happens when we elect people who have not been even staying in the areas, who don't know what is troubling the people. And again, I'll blame it on these leaders not going for public participation. We should be sitting with our people and knowing the issues that are affecting these people. Now, when we look at the Raila factor that he is now telling the government that it has failed, yeah, sure, the government has failed, and Raila is right. The Right Honorable is very, very right. Whatever he's saying is that William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, should turn much attention to those affected areas. And now, I saw like 700 and something close to 800,000 people are suffering and are in a very serious emergency state. So if these people are in a very serious emergency state, then that means that the government should look into this issue very seriously. The government should delve on the same and work on the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you impressed with so far what the president has been doing in Kenya?
I'm not really impressed because it's been a lot of complaints. Yeah, I'm not impressed with the way he's, going slow in whatever he promised to do.
Sure.
He's so slow, and we cannot keep saying that he needs more time, he needs more time. So far, we have not seen anything like we can be proud of because the cost of living is still high, and he promised the people it's going to go down, but still not yet. So we see a lot of complaints that are not really helping.
In fact, prices are going even higher. Of things are still going higher.
Yeah.
And the president, but in Swahili they say pole pole ndio mwendo, haraka haraka haina baraka.
We don't believe in the same because hao Waswahili na wahenga sisi hatukuwaona. Kwa hivyo the thing is, let the truth be said, and we must call a spade a spade.
So
he doesn't need more time. The government has money. Let it act. Let the government work for the people.
Yeah. Well, dear Kenyans, just talk to us. Tell us, what are your views on the president saying that he needs more time in taking care of the economy of Kenya, especially in the lowering of unga prices at the moment, because everyone is suffering out there. The Hustler Nation, also the Hustler Nation are suffering out there. They also still complain.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I don't think that.
And these are the people who are complaining.
Yeah,
because you can find out that we as the people, sometimes if you can afford something small, there is something that you look at and you say that, okay, if I can do this, then I can manage. But look at somebody who doesn't have a job. Look at someone who has nothing to get or where to get something small from. Look at it. These are the people. Look at the boda guys. I have been with them. They are crying that siku hizi hata hakuna kazi. If there is no job, if they're not doing their work, seriously, where do you expect these people to get unga from? Where do you expect these people to get mafuta from? These are people who are going in the house every other minute. Unaona cases about suicide. Because a man comes to the house, finds a wife has left. A man comes to the house, finds bibi amelala na jirani kwa sababu ya unga. So why can't you just work on the issues? I said, and the government and William Ruto should look at this issue very, very critically, and he should think about what to do.
What is your last take on this situation? Last words you can tell the president. If the president was looking at you, what could you have been telling him?
You know him giving us 1 year of unga subsidy. Is like telling Kenyans to wait for 1 whole year starving and continue to struggle
Dying
to
and all that,
for a whole year, a whole 365 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is so unfair.
Yeah.
He should just look at ways in which he can really do what he said he will do.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of giving us these a lot of excuses. We are tired of excuses. We want him to do the job. Get into action and stop promising things you can't fulfill.
Well, you had it there, my fellow viewer. You had it there from Romy TV Africa. And we've come to the end of our show today. Those were the main agendas today on the newspaper. It's about the Penina Malonza and the Unga prizes. And we've come to the end of our show. Talk to us, communicate to us. Tell us what are your thoughts on whatever we are discussing today about. I was your host, Emmanuel Onyango. I was not alone, but I was with my co-host
Regina Mwangi.
and the guest for today,
Ambassador Dr. Nyaumbo.
Thank you for today. Follow us and have a blessed day.
Alright, welcome once again to this month's show on What is Your Story with Dr. Robert. Also remember, once again, we are back. This is a program that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. only at Romy TV Africa.